Hi, my name is Jaclyn Whittaker, and this is my Module 1 presentation. A little bit about me and my professional life. I teach for the Solanco School District. I taught 2 years in kindergarten, and I am finishing up my second year in second grade. We are not done with school until next Wednesday, so I am still chugging along. In my personal life, I really enjoy gardening. My husband and I, who is pictured here, have been married for 4 years. We recently purchased my grandparents' home, which my great-grandfather built, and are really enjoying working in the garden, being outside. I love cooking, preserving, and canning, and also spending time and going on vacations with my family. I have really never been into cartoons, but if it counts, I would say that Eeyore is my favorite cartoon character. Why STEM? I have seen the creative benefits of STEM in my students, and it is very inspiring. I think that STEM prepares students for future careers. A lot of careers that students are going to be in have not yet been created, and I think that's very helpful. This was reiterated in the video I watched with Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he is saying that STEM will help students prepare even when they think they're never going to use this. It helps with the wiring in their brain. My definition of STEM, which I kind of paired with what I saw in the STEM integration K-12 education video, is integrating academic content and also real-world applications in science, technology, engineering, and math. That video that I referenced talked about how these used to be very separate, and now they need to be seen as integrated and working together because that makes them more relevant to students' lives. STEM in my classroom, one STEM activity I have done with my students is an oil spill cleanup. This is the chart, and how I saw it was we defined the problem. We watched a video about real-world oil spills, and we said, what is the problem? Why is this not a good thing? And how can we solve it? So we began to plan and carry out our investigation, thinking about what we could use to help to clean up the oil spill. We had a lot of different materials that students could choose from. They also used technology to research what is used in a real-world oil spill, and tried to see what kinds of materials that were available to them that they could use to help mimic that. And then they also used mathematics because they looked at what other students came up with, other groups and themselves, and they critiqued their own, but also others, and looked to see how could we improve and make these better. Why is STEM important? STEM helps students to function and thrive in a world that is very technical. From Vasquez chapter 3, it talked about challenging and intriguing students so that students do not become bored, but they remain engaged. Also from Vasquez chapter 5, it mentioned encouraging students to ask the questions. I think a lot of times in education, the teacher presents the question and then the students are trying to answer it. But I think when we can facilitate the students asking the questions, that really yields to a higher level of learning where students are actively engaged. My goals for this course, I admit that I need to integrate all of these areas more in my classroom and see them more as an integrated whole. So I want to be more consistent in my use of them and also getting outside my comfort zone. I think many times I'm afraid if I don't quite know how to use something, I'm afraid to give it to my students, but I'm always surprised at how quickly my students can figure things out. And I think I need to become more comfortable in letting them struggle and figuring out things with them rather than feeling like I need to have every little piece figured out first. Also, I want to get new resources, which I'm already excited because of the kit that I purchased. I've never actually worked with something like that before, and I'm just excited to add some new resources to my repertoire and have some new things that I can implement that way into my classroom. Thank you so much.